The courtroom doors slammed open exactly when the old janitor lowered his defeated eyes forever. Everyone inside expected another criminal hearing, another forgotten man losing everything without powerful protection. But three elegant women entered silently, carrying dusty photographs nobody recognized until shocking memories returned. The judge suddenly paused proceedings after noticing the terrified expression covering the wealthy businessman's trembling face. Folks watching nearby whispered nervously because nobody understood why those women stared directly toward the janitor. And trust me, partners, what happened next changed that lonely old man's destiny forever completely. 20 years earlier, during a freezing western storm beside abandoned railroad tracks near dusty Blackwater County, an exhausted janitor named Walter discovered three crying orphan girls hiding underneath broken wooden supply wagons. Their parents had died during a terrible robbery, leaving frightened children completely alone without surviving relatives. Walter barely earned enough coins cleaning saloons, churches, and sheriff offices throughout dangerous frontier settlements nearby. Still, he carried those hungry girls home, promising protection despite having almost nothing himself besides compassion. Viewers, imagine sacrificing your final meal willingly because terrified children desperately needed warmth and survival tonight. Walter repaired torn dresses carefully every evening beside flickering lanterns after exhausting work shifts finished completely. He taught the girls honesty, courage, and kindness while cruel townspeople mocked their impossible struggling family constantly. Sometimes wealthy ranchers laughed openly whenever Walter arrived carrying second-hand books for the determined orphan daughters. But every night, Walter reminded them education could unlock doors stronger than gold, violence, or corruption forever. The oldest girl, Clara, dreamed about becoming a fearless attorney defending innocent people against greedy, powerful men. Meanwhile, little Rose studied medicine passionately, while young Emily practiced speeches before cracked mirrors every evening faithfully. Years passed slowly, and Walter's weak body suffered terribly after decades cleaning dangerous abandoned mining facilities nightly. The girls eventually left Blackwater County searching opportunities beyond dusty streets and heartbreaking painful childhood memories behind permanently. Walter stayed alone afterward, proudly rereading letters describing their remarkable successes across distant growing western cities everywhere. But one terrible afternoon, corrupt businessman Harvey Coleman accused Walter falsely of stealing important courthouse financial documents secretly. Without expensive lawyers defending him, the exhausted janitor faced prison despite swearing complete innocence before angry townspeople loudly. And partners, nobody recognized Harvey because decades earlier he caused the robbery killing those orphan girls' parents. Inside that crowded courtroom, Walter lowered his trembling hands while guards prepared chains beside the witness table silently. Harvey smirked confidently because powerful money controlled judges, sheriffs, and frightened witnesses throughout Blackwater County for decades already. Then suddenly those courtroom doors opened forcefully, stopping every whispered conversation across the packed dusty chamber instantly there. Three successful women walked proudly toward Walter, their expensive boots echoing against wooden courtroom floors dramatically together today. Walter's tired eyes filled with tears after recognizing Clara, Rose, and Emily standing before him once again. Folks nearby gasped loudly, realizing those elegant strangers were actually the helpless orphan girls Walter once rescued. Clara approached the judge calmly, presenting hidden evidence proving Harvey manipulated financial records and framed innocent Walter deliberately. Rose testified courageously about medical reports exposing injuries Walter suffered while protecting abandoned children throughout brutal winter storms. Emily addressed the courtroom passionately, reminding citizens how society ignored struggling families until tragedy finally demanded painful accountability publicly. The entire courtroom turned silent whenever the sisters revealed Harvey orchestrated robberies years earlier for illegal property expansions. Harvey's confident smile disappeared immediately after secret witnesses entered, exposing crimes buried beneath fear and political corruption forever. Within moments, deputies arrested the wealthy businessman while shocked spectators applauded the brave sisters emotionally without stopping afterward. Walter sat speechless afterward while tears rolled slowly across weathered cheeks carrying decades of hidden painful sacrifices silently. The judge dismissed every false accusation completely, thanking Walter sincerely for raising extraordinary women despite unbearable financial hardships courageously. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded the reunited family, desperate hearing unbelievable stories about loyalty, survival, and redemption together today. Clara hugged Walter tightly, whispering softly that fathers are defined through love rather than blood or wealth ever. Rose promised Walter peaceful retirement beside beautiful countryside gardens where suffering finally could disappear forever from his weary life. Emily smiled proudly before telling gathered crowds kindness always returns eventually, even after decades filled with heartbreak and struggle. So friends, whenever life feels unfair, remember Walter's story before surrendering hope during difficult, painful, lonely circumstances completely. Sometimes the smallest acts of compassion create powerful futures nobody recognizes until destiny finally reveals hidden truths dramatically later. And maybe somewhere tonight, another struggling soul desperately needs encouragement exactly like those orphaned girls once desperately needed. If this story touched your heart deeply, tell me honestly what part affected your emotions the strongest today. Don't forget subscribing for more unforgettable Wild West stories filled with mystery, justice, sacrifice, and emotional powerful endings. Like this video, share it everywhere, and comment below because your support keeps these incredible stories alive.